This is Follow the Rainbow. We're going to be doing an Egyptian for you. The pre-shuffle came out with 2 cards. Ekatat Ahunesu means from Sikham, meaning power. She burns away her enemies, and she burns away things that are no longer needed, like the phoenix in a way. But she controls that fire enough. Burn them away was the letter side. This other tool was the darker side, the one that was more mischievous, the more violent, let's say. This is Sekhmet, the other lion goddess, and the fierce twin of Bastet. She is the scorching, seductive power of the sun. She is strong and mighty and violent. She is depicted as a woman with a lioness surrounded by a sword disc, circled, and it means the uterus. So the woman in feminine power. It is the burning the eyes of the enemy and is dangerous. She is invoked to protect good and humiliate the wicked. You want to humiliate the wicked? This is who you call. Transformed by fire. This would be the holy fire. And my ears ringing on a million. So instead of destroying her enemies, she transformed them by fire. The cosmic fire snake, in which has awakened the third eye and destroys all enemies and demons. Sekhmet is the flame and also the fire of enlightenment and the fire that redeems the soul of the dead, liberating it to become the star of heaven. Powerful protector. Lust, passion, fire, and the strength and magical power. The second, as I said, was Akahanasu, which means to travel. After you cleanse yourself with the holy divine fire, you are meant to travel. Karasut existed as a moon god, and one of the oldest gods represented in the different phases of the moon, and he was a messenger of the gods. Journeyed through the skies as the moon does and called the traveler. Combination of the scepters represented in unique spirit, soul, and body in the new unity capable of resurrection. So it's a new life for you. You're traveling through your journey, and he is the traveler. This represents you, half, who cleansed you through divine fire. Is a child of the morning, the old man of the evening, and the youth at the beginning of the year, who is birth like a disc, like the sun. He is the spring, moon, and sun, rejuvenating the body, especially through the woman's menstrual cycles. And budding of the plants in the springs, and helps fertilizations of energies like the new moon, and aspects of the described as the fury of the bull. The light bearer makes the woman fruitful and makes human germ to grow his mother's womb. Is the one that creates the beginning of life, basically. The beginning, the traveler. Overcome powers of darkness, and sometimes shown with 2 crocodiles, and dispels darkness and demons through his power of exorcism. You know, the 2 of these cards have been saying that they expel demons and darkness. So right there, those 2 things that they have in common. It's the absolute power over all hostile spirits of earth, air, and sea. Great healer who banishes disease and madness. The placenta king. They're doing the root chakra. Maybe this particular entity expels demons from the root chakra. A long journey. Exorcism of the mind and body. It's a Set, which is another twin, right? He orchestrates the night sky and the darkness, but he's also entombed in the fire. He was born neither at the proper time or at the proper place, and forcing his way through the womb, which remained at his mother's side. He is known and depicted with the desert animals. Here is fire imprisoned in the flesh. In all accounts, Seth is a principle of fixation in who binds the living fire into matter. Seth is the principle of the rules of the scorching deserts, the barren and burdened tax devoid of life. Because of those places, rain never falls. The insidious scheming and treachery of Seth is likened to the power of the drought of the opposition to the fertile inundation of the Nile and the generative power of his brother Eshtar. So Eshtar is his twin brother. In living the fire liberation of the terrestrial prison made for him in the desert, the opposition of light and life-giving rays of the sun continually scheming against the order and flow of life. So this is basically like the biblical story of Cain and Abel. The more I read this and the more I read these cards, the more I have similarities between the Egyptians, which were the originators of these stories, and then comparing them to the biblical aspects of it. Strange, isn't it? The same stories repeat and repeat and repeat again and again, which really we're going to go into deep with this, into the sacred knowledge and everything else, which I do have a very good understanding of. I'm not tooting my horn, but I just get these downloads and I understand them. It all has to go with Abraham and the sons and daughters of Abraham and how we all have the 12 tribes and blah, 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 blah. It's repeated over and over and over again. The human experience. Now is the time. Up till now, things haven't been able to be recorded in such a way. It's been repeating for lifetimes. Even from the Egyptian standpoint, it's been repeating again and again and again. It's these same curses, these same lessons that human beings need to learn. And God, Ra, Mother Earth, whatever you want to call it, because like I said, I don't believe in labels for this exact reason. Because it has been repeated again and again and again, these same stories again and again and again. Through many cultures, through many lifetimes, through many different examples. I just pray that I can actually speak this to you. Like, I understand it. I have it written down in books and books and books. Like, I got 12 books written already on this exact matter. But, hey, if I ever get the ability to speak and get out there, because I mean I've been saying it for over a year and a half, 2 years now. Have any of you ever heard it? Let me know in the comments, please, because all of my platforms say 0 views. So, but yet people are still speaking and quoting my particular words and phrases. I don't know. Can someone please tell me what's going on? If you know, can you please tell me? I would appreciate it. Like, confirmation down to 3D, because obviously intuition has been banging, you know? Anyway. Seth is the opposing light in the life-giving rays of the sun, continually scheming against the ordered flow of nature and disrupting harmony in the world. Equal in every aspect of their attributes, except one is light and one is dark. One is with the sun and one is with the moon. That's the only opposites. They have the same power, otherwise. I mean, they were twin flames, basically. And that's where twin flames come from. And it goes back to everything I just said. Seth tricks and murders his brother Eshtar and tries to kill the child Haru through the scorpion's sting. It has to do with the planet Mars. He's the ruler of Mars. The opposition stripe and retreat is preferable than defeat. So this is somebody who runs away instead of fighting and doesn't even risk defeat. So in my case, yeah, spiritual brother or sister of mine, not in the 3D, but I know who my spiritual brother or sister is. And they basically ran away. Yeah. They ran away before they could be defeated. I left you before you could leave me. Yes. Yeah. I know who you are. Do you know who you are? Because I know who you are. I'm just going to do one more. Okay. These ancestors of Egyptian descent, with most respect to Ra, the Father, please tell us. Okay, we got 3, which I wish they would just tell me one, okay? I'm only going to take the upright ones here. We got earthly, we rule the world. Person, the goddess who leaves the world. And then we have the 2 eggs with the grumpy guardian, okay? But we have, this is the hippo and the alligator, which is living in the Nile, right? And she's pregnant, all right? And then we have Harut Hut, which is basically one of the goddesses of justice, and she converts herself to a cow, but she could convert back and forth from a cow, because cows are sacred, or she could be a human goddess. And then you have someone who is pregnant. Is someone pregnant? Is someone going to be pregnant? Either way, this is destined to be. You see how he's riding on this pregnant hippo's back? You have a hippo. It's like probably equivalent to a aquatic alien to a reptilian alien, right? If you want to look at it that way, those who are galaxy seekers. Yeah. Do you see how he just like riding the back of the female, letting the female do all the work? Fuck that. But hey, and then you have this one. And then it has to do with Dark Night of the Soul, and then awakening through the river of life. Wow. Ooh, and Akadapat. Ooh. I'm sorry. God bless.